Hey everybody, this is Scott with Bug. Okay, I'm going to talk about these unpredictable lightning storms. I'm going to talk about changing weather patterns and everything else. Okay, you got all this water going into the oceans now with this post-glacial rebound effect. Basically, we got this ice melting up there in Antarctic, and with that ice melting, with a lot of weight, and that's what we're dealing with is the weight. People are looking at CO2 gas. They're looking at building new green energy stuff. They're looking at this, that, and the other, but no one's focusing on the main problem, and that's ice melting. With that ice melting, there's no barriers or anything keeping that ice or that water entering into the Earth's ocean. So that water is leaving that area. It doesn't matter if that ice is on water or if it's on land. It's like a sponge underneath that ice. And once that weight is removed, that sponge starts to retract or expand back out. So areas in Alaska are starting to lift up. And as this water goes into the ocean, it's starting to push the ocean floors down. An interesting anomaly you'll probably see with this Chile earthquake is that the coast actually, they probably gained about 5 to 7 feet of coastal land. Because with the drop of the ocean over there, you got a bunch of little islands over there that are in real trouble. But with the drop, with all these earthquakes as they hit, it drops this floor of the ocean, expands out to receive the water. Because there is no sea level rising. Okay, if you had sea level rising, you would have it on the coast of America, you would have it on the coast of Australia, you'd have it on the coast everywhere.
And you don't?
Hello?
Yeah, you don't have that?
No. Basically, you go out to any beach right now, and the water level's the same. But if you go to Tuvalu or these other islands that they're using for your global warming models, they're 7 feet. They're 7 feet underwater. They lie 7 feet. Okay, so the only explanation using common sense is that the floor of the ocean's sinking. And it's pushed that island down 7 feet is what's happening due to the geological conditions that's on the floor of the ocean.
What is causing the ice to melt?
Nuclear fallout.
Is that from them having set off nuclear bombs in the atmosphere?
You betcha, phenomenology. They were doing some high-altitude testing back in the 50s and 60s before the free test ban. And, I mean, it just powder-kegged everything. What's amazing is right after Chernobyl, which blew up 17,000 tons of nuclear waste, it's measured in tons because it's a metal. Uranium is a... So basically what happened was you had 17,000 tons, or roughly 3 billion pounds plus, of shredded metal blown up into the atmosphere. Now, we'll give you the scenario on why these oil rigs are sinking over here in the Gulf of Mexico. You had all this water coming in, because this water that's leaving this ice pack is repositioning itself all over the ocean, okay? It's kind of like a person that's, they're trying to get comfortable in a bed, okay? So they'll move around until they find a comfortable spot, and that's all there is doing. It's trying to reposition itself so it's comfortable. So this water is not only leaving the ice pack and going into these geofragile zones in your ocean, okay? This water is coming inland. Now, you had this set of storms that came in here over to the East Coast about a month ago. Well, where do you think that water went? It came down in here to the Gulf of Mexico, which put a lot more water in there, and this is weight, heavy weight, and it sank those oil rigs. And the more of these storms coming through, more of this water going in here, the more of these oil rigs that are going to sink. All these oil rigs around the world are in danger right now of sinking, just like the islands. As the geo conditions dictate, this is ocean floor deformation. This water goes into these fault zones, they crush them down.
Now, I've had 10 papers written over the last 11 years on this stuff, okay? I didn't just pop on YouTube and come up with this stuff out of thin air. And there's thousands and thousands of hours of research and study involved in this stuff. And if people think, oh, come over my site and rag on this stuff or me, they're tripping, because I'm going to boom you, okay? And your dumb ass. I ain't going to trip on you, okay? Now, I love you. Yeah, I want you to get the truth. There is no sea level rise, okay? The floor is sinking. That's point blank. And it's sinking from this heavy weight. It's common sense. But this weight is going in to the land now. Now, you're going to continue to see this stuff, okay? Here's South America. Wherever it's getting drier, it's going to get drier. Wherever it's wetter, it's going to get wetter. You're going to start seeing more and more earthquakes down here by the Antarctic. Because this water's coming down, okay? You're going to have areas like over here where Iceland is melting all this water. The mid-Atlantic range is, you're going to get volcanoes and stuff in here through the Mediterranean going off. And watch these money people, man. Wherever these places are collapsing, like Iceland's economy, they know that place is going to go. All right, the ICCP, man, they're on top of this stuff, but they ain't telling you this stuff. They're feeding you a whole bunch of lies, okay, which is sadder than heck. They don't want to frighten you. It was in the 2030 report, which they told your Congress to go screw. 16 different branches of the CIA. Anyway, here's the Soviet Union. You're getting major earthquakes up here now from the rebound, because that land's lifting up as the heavy pressure's being taken off. So you're getting multiple volcanoes going off up here. And all these changing weather patterns, you know, it's like the Thailand earthquake I predicted. It came to pass on that other video. I've been predicting all these earthquakes and stuff. Man, it's common sense, folks. This stuff is common sense. It's all about pressure and weight, okay? Pressure and weight. This is post-glacial rebound, isotonic adjustment, continental rebound. You stick whatever name you want to stick to it. The bottom line is this Earth's in major trouble. And we got to get our act together. And this ain't time to play. Now, you go through my videos. You check them out. Okay? Because some bad news is coming. Well, I love you. Yeah, I want you to be prepared. Because information shock resistance. I'll take on any climate scientist on this planet with this stuff. Any of them. Okay? Now, there's some good stuff out there. And I don't go around ragging on people's stuff. Especially newcomers into the truth movement. Say you've been in the truth movement for a while. Man, don't rag on those people. So they're not where you're at. Encourage them. Man, these people need to know the truth too. And they're going to come into YouTube as they come in. But if you shoot them down, man, you shoot yourself down. Because you show no class. Man, this is about love your neighbor as you love yourself, man. And there's bad news coming. Hardcore. Be well. And study to show yourself approved. Make your election sure. Stand up. Be that light.
Around several islands in the Vanuatu chain and New Caledonia there and the Pacific Solomon Islands after a huge earthquake in the ocean just off Vanuatu, 7.4 magnitude, which is pretty sizable, and there are now serious concerns that it could send up tsunami waves surging throughout that region about 1,000 miles off.
500 meters, beaten farmer Gordon Armstrong might have the longest driveway in the county, but the best machine for the job.
Got a lot of snow here to move, though. Yeah. But it's the worst I've seen.
Size doesn't matter here today. This snowstorm has been a lot of work for everyone here.
It's very hard work. I think I've shoveled more snow in the last 2 days than I did all last year.
Hi, Luke Anthony here. It's the Monday after the biggest snowstorm in the history of Eau Claire. 19.2, 22 inches. We've heard both totals. Either way, it's a record. Biggest snowstorm the city of Eau Claire has ever had. This is epic. This is legendary. It's like
Snowfall and heavy showers cause problems around the world. Extreme weather conditions continue to cause problems to air and rail traffic in Europe. Heathrow Airport in London will accommodate 1/3 of its flight until 6 a.m. on Thursday, 23rd of December. Catwick has opened its runways, but delays and cancellations are expected. In Germany, Frankfurt Airport also warns for flight delays and cancellations.
The weather winter so far has brought the kind of storms that interrupt and even endanger lives, with days of rain and flooding in the southwest, record snowfall in the north, and conditions harsh enough overseas to shut major transportation hubs. This after a summer of even more dangerous waves of heat and water.
Record events for the month December 6th through December 12th only. Now, we're just talking 6 days. Total records, 2002.
Oh, really?
319 rainfall records, 320 snowfall records, 71 high temperature records, 426 low temperature records, 767 low maximum temperatures, and 99 high minimum temperatures. So
that is just, and the thing is that this is going to become more the norm.
Heavy rain, fierce winds, snow and sandstorms continue to batter countries across the Middle East. In Lebanon, a woman was killed when an uprooted tree crushed her car in Tripoli, while in Beirut, heavy rain flooded the streets, and in mountain areas, snow forced roads to close. In Israel, a Russian tourist has died after being swept out to sea in Netanya, north of Tel Aviv. Elsewhere in Israel, rain and hail lashed the country, and strong winds felled trees and toppled traffic lights. While snow caused problems in the mountains. The seafront at Dahab in Sinai, Egypt was engulfed by huge waves, wrecking restaurants. While in the capital, Cairo, strong winds whipped up sandstorms, closing airports for the second day in a row. Jordan is bracing for heavy rains and snow.
This is 9 News.
Carnarvon has been declared a natural disaster zone as authorities prepare to drop food and water to dozens of locals stranded by the region's worst floods ever. As we go to where at least one section of the levee bank that's been built around the town, 900 kilometres north of Perth, has broken. Nadia Mitsopoulos begins our coverage.
Last week this area was in drought. Now water extends as far as the eye can see. This the worst flooding ever to hit Carnarvon.